Hey guys, welcome to our review of episode 6 of The Boys season 4. This one entitled Dirty Business. And my God, was it some dirty stuff here? Some sexual depravity. And did you see that man fold instantly when he got squirted by firecracker? Motherfucking Homelander, and you can almost see him crack a smile too. I think I like that take. That's a good take. Hilariously shocking, yes. Gross, very weird, but very Homelander. And
how did she know?
I don't know. I was going to ask y'all that. Yeah. I was going to ask y'all that. She got him now, though, and she's definitely in the inner circle now,
for sure.
Which might create some friction between Sage and her, continuing that subplot where these two don't like each other. But fascinating episode, and honestly, as crazy as gross as it is with some of the sexual stuff, it does show you that the boys, even though this one doesn't have a lot of action and killing and gore and stuff like that, it can still be extremely top-notch. This one here is proof. The acting from Carl Urban is superb. The writing is excellent. It's such a breath of fresh air. When me and the boys, we go from something like The Acolyte, where character motivations are awful, and we have flip-flopping and really bad writing, and just wanting to get characters to a certain point in the plot, but not putting any care and effort into getting them there. And so it all feels very contrived. Here, this is how you write a show. This is how you do it. And when I go and I look at the writers and directors, I realize that they are using a rotation of writers. Every single episode that we've watched so far has had a different writer so far. And aside from one director that directed this one and episode 2, they've been different directors as well. So it shows you that this can be executed well. Go ahead.
Laz Alonso did an interview yesterday where he was talking about they do 16-hour days, and he's like, "Look, Eric Kripke, the showrunner, is a crazy perfectionist." And he says it in he's like, "Look, it's tough, but it's like this is why things get done this way. It's not like, oh, we'll just do one take. It doesn't matter. Make it for as cheap as you possibly can, like what seems to be kind of like the Disney model." Yeah. There's a showrunner who cares and gives a shit to the point where you can clearly tell it's rubbing the actors the wrong way because they have to put more into it, but we get better product out of it because someone is in charge and is making sure day after day that the quality is top notch, and it's not dumbass shit like, "I never heard of you." Like, what do you mean?
And he said do it as cheaply as possible. They're doing it as expensively as possible, but yet turning out to
tax
cheap.
Fraud. Yeah, one of the two.
So, great writing here. Great situations. This Ted Knight guy is creepy as hell. I didn't know that Batman had... This is probably Zack Snyder's Batman, kind of thing. If Zack Snyder was let go, you do whatever you want, Zack. This is kind of the Batman we'd get because he's got some weird sexual fetishes. Ashley factors in here. We know how depraved, how much she loves depravity herself and domination and stuff that I don't even want to test the YouTube algorithm. What the word saying stuff like, but what he said, So we get a party. This is a power party amongst the political elite, people in power. And, of course, we have Vicky and Homelander and Sage executing their plans. And Tech Knight is throwing this party. And the boys want to know what the hell's going on. They need access. They actually learn about the party through a continued plot line with A-Train, who in this episode continues to go on his hero arc. He actually cracks a smile. He feels he feels what it's like to be a hero when he actually saves MM. What's that, Rigo?
What's that?
What'd you say?
I said once again, but then I was like, maybe it's just all stage, but finally get some kind of satisfaction.
Yeah, and so it clues them in on this party. And the boys go there. Now, I was like, there's no, we got to go in. It's like, no, but they needed to go in because if they didn't go in, then we would have a dead Huey.
Huey was in trouble.
Or we would have, I don't know what would have happened to Huey. No, he would have died because Tech Knight was going to create a new hole because Tech Knight is
Tortured,
bored
and then
with all of the
death.
normal holes from people. That's probably why he was trying to hook up with Web Weaver. So I told you through the promos and stuff that Web Weaver would eventually show up. We've just seen his masked form. We finally get to meet Web Weaver. Wow.
It's like a junkie.
That a junkie Spider-Man, a sexual deviant Spider-Man who just wants the next hit of drugs up his butthole. But Joe, I was hearing Joe making
Because
all
he
sorts
put it
of
in the wrong
noises
hole.
when the motherfucker put it in his web hole. And his
And
web
then
hole
put it
is
in
the
the wrong
most
hole. He's like, "Oh, this is the wrong
disgusting thing
hole."
I've ever
It
seen.
is.
This really off-putting makes me want to just shut off the whole thing.
I was like, oh, God.
And
then,
yet I continue to watch. What are we doing?
then it farted on. And then,
MM would have been wearing
The
gloves.
web,
yes, that's what I was thinking, too.
when he's putting something in one butthole, the other butthole farted on him.
Got webbed. I would have
You would think there'd be more web there, but there's a tiny web.
a little fart.
Yeah.
He pumped. I mean,
Poop.
Good God. This is gross. I
Yes.
didn't
Yes,
know
it
we'd
was.
be talking about this.
if you're knocking on Poop's
the
door,
fucking
you
boys.
cannot be surprised when Poop answers. Okay.
And so Joe's making noises. Then Alex is even making noises, which is rare. And Alex is surprised at how connected this show is with the internet culture.
Cake farts in Santorum. Like, these are some
What
fucking.
the fuck is Santorum? What
It-
he would,
Oh,
this was
God,
a line
no,
from Tech
no.
Knight. Don't ask.
No.
Well, it's
Okay.
making fun of a real
we gotta know.
politician. And so there's a real
Yeah.
politician named Rick Santorum, and
Yeah.
the internet was like, we're going to name the most disgusting thing we can after him to make fun of this dude. And it's a mixture of all of the worst of the things that could come out of your booty hole and like mixed with other things that get injected in your. And so it's a gross thing. But like the person who
you
was
didn't
like-
clean the Santorum?
yeah, you didn't
from
clean
the cage?
the Santorum off this, and then like David Carradine is catching strays, and like cake farts is a deep cut on the internet.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know anything about
It's
cake.
good. Your
How
life-
do you know, Joe? How do you know?
This guy.
Do not
is
blame
a-
that on me. I've never shown you cake farts.
it's a- mm,
What are you
he's
doing
a
on your
bad
phone?
influence.
Yeah. So he's,
Delete.
he's deleting his browser history right now.
Fuck is cake farts? What
You
does
saw
that have to
it.
do with anything?
You
That's
saw-
all it is?
Yes.
Somebody gets sexual gratification from farting in cakes?
Cake, pudding, meatloaf, yeah, all sorts of weird stuff. The internet is a wild place, and
is.
this episode sampled all of those
It
places.
did.
I don't know who they have on
It
their
went
research
over the
team,
top.
but this motherfucker is of the same mindset that Alex is.
No, I know of these things.
I don't know. Why do you know of these things?
Because look, we've been on the internet a long
No,
time, man.
I've been on the internet a super long time, and I don't go around doing Santorums and
Well,
cake
Santorum's
farts.
Santorum's really new.
No, yeah. Well, anyways, they got their finger on the pulse here of the
Finger on
grossness.
something.
Yes.
Thank you for that.
Squish.
Meanwhile, we have some other subplots, but thankfully the subplots that weren't working were reduced quite a bit.
Yes.
We get a little bit of the Kamiko visiting Frenchie. We're like, we don't give a fuck, but it's
We
very
don't know
short,
what to do with Frenchie, so
truncated.
let's just say he's in prison.
It's almost as
and
if
he's
it's-
not in this episode at
Right.
all.
It's almost as if the actor was like, hey, guys, I got to go on this vacation with my wife. She's really mad at me and stuff. And it's like, can we find a way that I don't have to film one of them? It's kind of what it feels like because it's just stupid. She tries to visit him in prison and says the prisoner doesn't want to see you, so he's not in the episode. And what else? But the best part, well, there's another little subplot between the Deep and Black Noir 2. I just call him Black Noir 2 from now on to differentiate. And this guy has his helmet off, so we get to see what he looks like.
Yeah.
He's not the original. He's a completely new character. He's not a clone. None of this, speculation that they thought that, he might be a clone and stuff. No, it is an actor, and he says, I
can't
don't know
do this
what's wrong with
anymore.
this guy. He's got a bunch of dolls in his closet of the Beaver character from the previous cartoon thing that they did, and I don't get it. I'm leaving. I can't do this no more. And Deep is like, look, violence is power. People used to make fun of me, but when I punch their fucking nose in and it caves into the back of their head, they ain't laughing no more. And then Noir's like, never considered that. But I don't know if this really makes sense because he's already been bashing people with bats. He's already sampled some of the...
He killed 2 people, and he actually killed someone that A-Train was supposed to kill. So this guy's bloodthirsty as shit. So
I don't understand why we even need this subplot.
I figured it's because the way Ashley was treating him, and then he started kind of getting more violent with that, and he's like, okay, now I actually got some power.
Yeah.
And he was getting kind of power hungry with that.
Sure.
Maybe
It's maybe more a little bit about
now.
Deep than it is Black Noir. Deep has a good heart somewhere in there with the whole sea creatures and the vulnerability he has with that, but he's starting to sample some of the Homelander tendencies and liking them. So and we get Annie and Firecracker meet again. We got a repeat of a previous scene, but she manages to sedate her before Firecracker can do anything, which does eventually lead to later on Firecracker admitting that she let Starlight got
yeah, but she can't say that she got.
And
why not just squirt him and then you'd be like, okay, I forgive you.
That's exactly what she did, Joel.
Well, she didn't tell him the truth.
No, but she still lies to him.
She still lies to him.
Yeah.
That what?
That she got her ass beat and then stabbed with the injected. So she made up a whole story about, I chased her off. And it's like, no, you didn't. You got...
Yeah, that's just Firecracker. But yeah, so very curious. Okay, and so then we finally get the reveal of, well, how is this plot going line? How is Homelander going to take over the country / Vicky? And they basically get all the most powerful government officials and senators and thing in a room, and Sage is going to present this plan. However, because the boys went in to extract Huey because things were getting a little too hot and heavy, MM runs into Sage, and the smartest woman on Earth decides to antagonize the guy with a gun, and he ends up shooting her in the head. Now, we all know that her brain at this point regrows, and so it's like, I got it, she's not dead. These 2 shocking character deaths that they teased in a promo for the episode, everybody got mad at the Twitter account for the boys because they showed these 2 things in the trailer. I knew it was going to be a fake out, and unfortunately, a little bit cheap, a little bit of a fake out, because we get Sage getting a headshot, and earlier we got Vicky having her head exploded. She explodes her own head in her mind because there's a guy explaining to her how abortion is just good policy, and when a woman is R-worded, the body takes care of itself.
Which is what a real U.S. politician actually said and believes.
All of these things are pretty much real.
Jabs in this show.
And the jabs and to real life politician. Another one was he doesn't hang around any women, doesn't converse with any women except for his wife and his mistress. Those guys.
Mr. in the room. Well, never mind.
So, so these 2 character deaths, they're fake character deaths, or at least one of them is real, but she'll regenerate her head, which for the smartest woman on the world, that was kind of stupid for her to antagonize. I don't know what her aim was, but it really fucks things up because later on in the power scene, Homelander has to make the speech in front of all the officials, and he's kind of fucking it up because he's just not on Sage's level. He's not smart, he's not intelligent, doesn't have a plan for everything like she does, and he's losing them. He's losing the room. And Sage is, I don't know, stuffing her face with cake because she can eat a whole bag of candy corn and shit. I don't know.
You have to be an idiot to want to eat a whole bag of candy corn. That shit is gross.
Hey, fuck you.
They both like candy corn.
Candy corn.
That shit is nasty.
You see that? He's just slowly turning. Look, if it's
because you eat candy corn?
I don't go out and bite.
No, I don't go out and bite.
I'll take one. I'll take one.
The candy corn I like the most is the pumpkin one and Halloween. The pumpkin ones. For some reason, I know they taste exactly the same, but for some reason they taste better.
Pumpkins taste better.
But I don't put a whole bunch in my mouth and just eat them, right? Take one.
Yeah, let them do that, Joe. All right. So but it's Vicky that jumps in almost as if it's a favor to him, or if it's a huge, why did she do it? It's like she had to, and I thought she was on his team anyway, so she basically saves the day. But this is probably just setting up tension later for Homelander potentially killing Sage, or getting mad at Sage, or kicking her out or something because she's fucking up.
Well, he's a naive child that doesn't know how the country works, right?
Yes.
And so like he needed to have a grown-up explain, look, the stock market isn't going to go to shit. This is the thing that you actually want. Because Homelander thinks that it's just like, I'm the strongest one, I get a rule. And they're like, yeah, but who are you going to rule? If it's going to be a barren wasteland, then we're not in. He needs these people on his side. So he needed an adult, and he's super insecure about it because he doesn't like, he
looked like he's starting to cry.
He was crying, yeah, because he's like, holy shit,
God.
I don't know anything about this country other than how to laser people in the dick.
He doesn't know how to laser people in the dick. And but anyways, Vicky gets everybody on board, so they're going to use the 25th Amendment to take over when they need to take over. Okay, and then finally it's revealed through the Tech Knight bit that the goal of Tech Knight in this group is to use prison internment camps, essentially, for anybody that's not on board with this insurrection and this takeover. So that causes his butler... This is nothing that doesn't make sense. His butler's been down for all this depraved shit and fucking probably torture.
Fucking cleaning years have come.
Right. But that's too far. Camps are too far, and he starts choking the butler starts choking his master.
Pits of rage. He's just like, I'll make it look like an accident. He's like, all right, let's get the fuck out of here.
And it does, and Alex is like, damn, David's catching strays here.
That's sad.
He's like, he did respect David or something. I don't know what he said.
Yeah,
he looked up to him. Because motherfucker likes to choke himself and then kind of hang there and then get off while another man does cake farts. So,
the boys.
The boys, everybody. But no, he kills Tech Knight, and it is confirmed that he's dead later on. So Tech Knight is taken out. Yeah. But then the final reveal, go ahead, Joe, is Butcher.
Butcher is actually seeing Joe.
I think you said this. I think you said this last episode or 2 episodes ago. You I got a feeling that maybe this Negan guy is not really...
Yeah, angel and devil on the shoulder.
Not
for sure.
really a Negan guy.
Yeah, it's actually exactly what it is. That's his devil, and his wife is the angel. He's been talking to himself this entire time.
Yeah. Pouring himself drinks.
Yeah, he's spilling on the table. I was like, oh, you wasting it. And people walking by, they're like, what is he doing? No, nobody's going to say anything.
He couldn't put a real cup there and then drink it himself. Anyways, but yeah, he learns from the scientists that not only is this a virus that can kill soups with single doses, if he wants him to make it as strong to kill Homelander, they have experimented with that, but they stopped because in order to make it that strong, it would then be a super virus that would kill all of the soups, airborne, spread like a pandemic. And he's like, hey, man, this is what we always wanted. You remember in season 1, you said kill all soups. They all need to go. But now he's made friends with several soups.
And his son.
And all these others. So now he's got a conflict here. But, they're setting it up that genocide, I'm not down with that. And they're setting up, Daddy's home now. Don't worry and take care of all this, the devil guy. But we know that Butcher has a good heart. I just already know that because he saved the bunny, and he saved the bunny to good heart, man. So he's going to choose not to unleash that version of the virus, whether the man creates it for him or not through further torture, and then whether he plans to use the finished product or not. That might happen, or he may not even have the guy create the super version of the virus. But if that's the case, and I don't know about this distinction between, okay, the virus kills people, but not Homelander. We don't know that. I mean, we didn't test that. I guess that comes from Gen V. I don't know. But so he's going to need to figure out what another way to kill Homelander.
And another way to have his head not immediately explode because he can't let this guy go
And so now, and the
Vicky
guy
will just
confirms, the Negan Devil confirms that I'm
It's
the one
kinda
that
curious
killed
how he did that, though.
I'm the one that killed
Tumor
the
powers.
other dude.
Okay.
In the camper van, and I don't know. I guess it comes out of his head and kills people with the tentacles and goes back into his head.
Yeah, I was wondering if he did that or just like something more enhanced, like Vicky's or something like that, just the whole body.
No, I think the thing comes out
'Cause that
because
thing
that's what
just,
they
like-
the tentacles from the bunny kind of
Yeah, and we keep seeing it.
tease that.
Okay.
So
EU.
great episode. And really moves it forward, kind of sets the pieces, sets the stage, sets the stakes, has all the pieces there, and now we just need to get the characters where they need to get to make these final decisions. There's 2 episodes left called The Insider is the next one, and Assassination Run is the last one, and that one's directed by Eric Kripke himself. Ooh, I'm very excited for that one. Okay, so what would you guys? Let's go to final verdicts.
I'm gonna go with an 8. This one went up from the last one. This one was even more crazier.
Yeah.
Besides the sheeps and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
it really went crazy. It made me laugh, but it's fucking
yeah.
weird.
It's
Fucking weird, but funny.
Gross.
A lot of tension. The stuff that I was worried about last episode with Frenchie, obviously they sidelined that. It's like, okay, well, we don't have anything to do, so we'll just put you over here. And then we'll focus on the main plot, which was great. We had the tension, and just the Huey scene inside the dungeon was fucking hilarious.
That was gross shit, man. I don't know.
Yeah, it was fucking
Ashley
funny.
takes her stuff serious.
She does.
And then seeing Homelander get sprayed with breast milk, and his reaction.
He's a kid in the
man.
candy store.
finally got a new titty to suck.
Yeah, just everything was back to running the way it should be in The Boys for me. So 8.
Yeah, I see. This one actually makes me want to lower all of the scores of almost every other episode of this season, and like while raising this one, I think this one's a 9 for me because we have a little bit of Huey and his mom. I think an acceptable amount of Huey and his mom. It was short.
Oh yeah, we forgot about that. We kind of wrapped that up.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of wrapped up. It's over there.
Funeral stuff.
I like Frenchie the character and I want him involved,
Same.
but I hate Frenchie this season. He is useless, and I want if that is what we're gonna get in Frenchie, I'm glad he's gone.
Yeah.
Motherfucker, go on vacation. You deserve it. You're
Making
you're
dumbass decisions.
You're a brilliant actor. Go somewhere fucking else. So this is the team working together. Butcher is doing something that feels right for Butcher. All of the storylines are converging. It feels like we're wrapping up a season because we are wrapping up a season. This is the first time this season where I was like, holy shit, we're actually kind of moving in the right direction. It's a little too fucking gross. I think that they went real deep on that and laughed too much.
They pressed the gas.
They did. I don't give a shit about the deep and noir at all right now. Hopefully it works up to something. I like the A-Train stuff though. So like the not getting a 10 out of 10 is because I think we went real gross, and then some of the side stuff isn't there. But I think this is kind of like them getting back to form. And actually, like I said, it makes me dislike the previous episodes even more.
I wouldn't go that far. I just know that this one is one I really liked, and I wrote down 9 out of 10. I liked it, and I was like, "This is The Boys," and this is what I was looking forward to. Even when an episode is not all about action and
It's
CGI
still
and killing and gore, it was fascinating. Good character studies here and there, good choices, good setup. The stakes are high, and now we can go into these final 2 and figure out what the hell is going on. And how they're going to end this particular season and set up the final season. All right,
And how
guys.
she found out about the milk.
Yeah,
was
that
explained.
somebody let us know.
Ashley's could
do
be
you
a
think
source of
that-
Ashley doesn't
information.
like her. I
Did
don't
we
think she
miss
would
a
say-
bit in the previous episodes
Can
that
you
she
keep
learned that information, or will they tell us later on how she learned that information? Or did the boys just make a oopsie? But I'll allow the oopsie because this was so out of left field, and it's like a good weakness for Homelander. It almost kind of reverses a little bit of his arc that he just had. He's just finally free and finally do whatever the fuck he wants, but then bam, that breast milk fetish
It's an addiction.
is the one
It's an
thing
addic-
that gets him
He's
back
trying.
into that
He's coming
mode,
back.
that baby mode, right? And so, okay, now this is setting up. She's in danger because the last lady that did the breast milk did not end up in a good spot. So, yeah.
Maybe she was going through his room like A-Train was and Ashley and found that like he did with the milk.
Yeah,
and,
because Ashley and A-Train know about it, but
she's probably snooping around. She's in love with him.
That might eventually he realizes that she is a poor replacement for the original, and through whatever method she used to obtain this information, he decides, I'm gonna zap you and get you out of here. Or she sticks with him for the whole thing because she's like, I will do anything for you. So she could be all the way in this series up until the end where the bad guys get their comeuppance.
Yeah.
So we'll see. All right, guys. Thank y'all. Let us know what you think down in the comments below. And thank y'all so much for watching. And we pretty much covered we did the breakdown in the review. I like that. That works real nice. We're already hearing spoilers by the episode 6. We're just full on. So thank you so much for watching. And we will see you on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys.